I want to talk a little bit about our 2011 Grenache Rosé, screw cap. This wine is, is arguably our most popular wine in that it sells out fastest. The 400 cases or so we made this year will sell out in about 6 weeks. This is a category that's getting more and more popular. It's always been popular among winemakers and aficionados, but the general public is, I think, starting to recognize that quality rosé is a quality wine. This is a dry wine. I want to talk a little bit about our evolution with winemaking in this wine, because I think we've made big strides with this wine in the last few years. When I first came on as full-time winemaker with Tolosa between 2005 and 2006, we were using what's called the saignée or bleed method for making rosé. That is, I would crush Syrah and Grenache and bleed off some of the juice, accomplishing two ends, making a rosé and making the Syrah and Grenache more concentrated because some of the juice had come off of them. But then doing some reading and tasting some other producers' rosés that I particularly liked, I realized that the French had utilized a new method of making rosé that I started employing in 2009, which is to put the whole cluster in the press and dedicate the entire fruit to making rosé. So you would press it like a white wine, bringing a teeny bit of color along. And what this does is it diminishes the amount of red wine flavor and influence. So in 2009 we did that for the first time with a mixture of Syrah and Grenache, and I believe that wine had a teeny bit of Viognier in it as well. And then last year, 2010, it was the Grenache did not look at all suitable for red wine whatsoever, so we dedicated all of the Grenache to making rosé, again using this whole cluster press method, a white wine pressing method, and it turned out just fantastically. It was really well received and well regarded within the winery. 2011, same thing. We took the Grenache, we took all of it into the press and pressed it off. And I can't, occasionally, usually when you change techniques you get an incremental increase in quality, but with this rosé, it is transformative. And this bears no resemblance to the early rosés we've made. It's got far more finesse and much more interesting aromatics. This year the color is very pale. It's primarily pink. It has the slightest tinge of orange in it too, so it gets kind of like a dusky rose pink color. I like it. Color is very hard to set correctly in rosé, so it may seem like a little thing, but to the winemaker it's a big thing, and I really like the color this year. The aromatics are what wines like this are all about. And this one has strong melon character. It's got a little bit of pink grapefruit, a citrus tone that is really, really attractive. And it's very estery, and by that I mean it smells like fresh fruit, but it also has a little hint of what the French would call minerality. And what does that mean? It means a little pleasant earthiness, kind of like dried stone. Is a way to think of it. When you're out on like or that smell when it first starts raining on hot concrete or hot stone. So it's actually an aroma, sulfur-based, but it's called minerality. It probably comes off the yeast lees. Most of the flavors in white wines and red wine, light red wines like rosés, are from the yeast. The particular, and to me, most appealing aspect of this wine is it's very dry, it's pretty high acid, that is pretty crisp wine, but there's so much fruit flavor in the mouth that it appears sweet at the same time. It's absolutely dry, no residual sugar, but the strength of the fruit flavor tells your brain that it's sweet. And so there's this lovely tension in the mouth between its crispness and the sweetness.